guys, my name is Lucy. I'm a professional tropical astrologer, and today I'm going to talk about Virgo season. The sun entered Virgo yesterday and it will stay in Virgo until September 22nd. So first I'll do an overview of what this means in general, and then we'll dive into the specific rising signs and what themes you're going to see come up during Virgo season. If you want even more detailed information where I look at your personal chart and give you a reading, check out my Patreon. I do personalized transit readings for all my Patreon members. But let's talk about Virgo season in general first. So I am a Virgo moon and I am a Cancer rising, which means that I'm ruled by my Virgo moon. So I do feel like I have a pretty good grasp of the sign Virgo. So during Leo season, the sun was in a fire sign and it was actually in its home sign of Leo. And now that Virgo season has begun, the sun is entering an earth sign. So we're going to be becoming more consistent towards working towards our goals. We're going to be more detail oriented. It's a great time to get organized. It's a good time to be practical. Pay attention to the details. Pay attention to things that maybe you didn't want to deal with before. You're going to have more of an attention span and more of a drive to get these things done. During Leo season, we were focused on our self-confidence and our creativity, and now it's time to take action and work towards the goals that we maybe had thought of during Leo season. I will say, Beyonce is a Virgo, so think about how, if you're a fan of her, you know how hard she works to get her art, her music, in the way that she wants it to be. And it's about putting in those little details that really bring things together, that really make things great. So it's great to look at our big picture, but Virgo is also really about zoning in on those little details. Like I was saying, this season is about our actions. Like, it's about us being consistent. So it's also a great time to focus on our health habits. Virgo is the sign related to health. It's also about your mind-body connection. So start meditating or continue your meditation practices. Yoga, that's another great way to connect your mind and your body. Exercising in general, starting, eating healthier, cooking your own meals or things like that are great things to do during Virgo season. Cleaning out your home, maybe getting ready for fall, getting ready for school to start if you are in school or if you have kids, getting ready for things to maybe speed up at work a bit now that the summer is coming to a close. We're going to probably feel more energy. You're going to feel like you are, more ready to get your daily activities done, to, wake up in the morning, clean the house, do the dishes, work on your projects, work out. You're going to have more energy to do this, but, be careful not to overwhelm yourself during this time because it can get busy. And remember that how your body is feeling is directly related to your mind. So start with making sure your mind is in the right spot, and this will align your body. So that's something to look out for. And Virgo has a very strong connection with the mind and body. So if you are going through a difficult time mentally, maybe, go do some relaxation practices, do some yoga, things like that, and learn how you can actually influence the other. Like, you can influence your mind through doing things with your body. You can influence your body through your mind. So it's all very much connected, and Virgo is the sign that deals with this. So let's discuss generally. So Virgo risings and Virgo sun, this is your time to shine. Virgo rising, the sun will be lighting up your first house. So in Virgo sun, this is like your birthday season, and so happy birthday to all the Virgos. And so this means that your sun will be conjunct the sun. So this is really a time for both Virgo rising and Virgo sun to step out, maybe in the spotlight, show off to the world, show your talents. It's a great time to think about you and your personal goals and what do you want to work towards. And we'll discuss generally. So if you have other earth signs in your chart, if you have Capricorn, and if you have Taurus in your chart as well, this is going to be a relatively good time for you. Usually, things run smoothly during Virgo season if you have Earth in your chart. The other thing I'll mention is if you have a Virgo Venus, this could be a time that your love life is highlighted. You could meet a new partner. You could just be more focused on your relationships at this time, friendships and like romantic relationships. If you have a Virgo Mercury, you could be more focused on your work. You could be extra busy during this time. If you have a Virgo Mars, you're going to feel very fired up. You're going to feel very passionate. You might be a little bit even more impulsive and on edge a bit during Virgo season. And if you have a Virgo Moon, you might feel a bit more connected to your emotions, a bit more emotional, even a bit more sensitive. But it should be a good time for all Virgo placements to really check in with themselves a bit. And I did say Taurus and Capricorn should be a relatively smooth time for you, as well as the water signs, because the sun will be making a it will be in positive aspect to the water signs and the earth signs. So if you're Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces placements, this should be a relatively smooth time for you as well. The ones that may have a bit more difficulty are the signs that are square Virgo, which is Gemini, and Sagittarius. So if you have Gemini and Sagittarius in your chart, you might run into some more challenges. But honestly, these things are meant for you to grow. So now let's get into your rising sign. What does it mean based on each person's rising sign? So starting with Virgo rising, we already kind of discussed this, but this is all about you. This is your time to shine. Give yourself some self-love. Give yourself some attention. It's a good time to make a first impression. It's a good time to change your look, your style, etc. Okay, Leo risings. This is a good time for you to focus on your finances, money and finances, and also things that you find, things that you value and your self-worth are going to come into focus. Make sure take account of your finances. Check to see what you've been spending money on. Make a new plan if you need to. Be careful not to overspend, but if you do, if you've been wanting to make a purchase, maybe this is the time you've been planning for and saving up for. It's a good time to do this, but make sure you're being aware of whatever it is you're spending money on. Make sure it's going to benefit you, and not just something that's, wasteful. Make sure it's going to benefit you working towards your goals. Cancer rising, you'll be busy during this time. Your focus is going to be on your communication. It's a great time to post on social media. It's a great time to communicate with friends. You might be busier at work. You in particular, as well as Virgo rising and Aries rising, you're going to have a lot of energy during this time, extra energy to get things done. Gemini rising, this is a time to focus on your family, your past, your emotions. You might be feeling a bit more emotional during this time. It's a good time to release negative emotions that come up and kind of release anything negative from the past that you're still holding on to. It's a good time to spend with family, your chosen family, whoever that may be, and people that you feel safe with and at home with. You also might see some things going on with your house, your living space. Maybe you're going to move, maybe you're going to do renovations, something like that. Taurus rising, this is a fun time for you. You are going to be focusing on you again, because you're going to be having the sun transit your 5th house. So, focus on your creativity, focus on expressing yourself creatively. You could see some increased sales coming in from a creative project, some increased recognition coming in. You might also feel more romantic, so it's a good time to date. It's a good time to fall in love. For you guys, Taurus rising and Aries rising, you are going to be busy, busy, busy. Just like Cancer rising, you're going to be, you might be running around for work. It's a good time, especially like I was saying, pay attention to the details, get those little things done that you need to, work on your healthy habits. You'll have increased energy to get things done. Pisces rising, it is time for you to focus on your relationships, focus on your romantic relationships, your friendships. It's a good time to work on compromise. If you haven't been seeing eye to eye with somebody, it's a good time to come to a compromise with whoever it may be that you may be arguing with, or if that's not the case, you might take your relationship to the next level. If you've been dating somebody, you're just going to be focusing on your relationships a lot during Virgo season. Aquarius rising, you are going to be focused on your emotions, internal transformation, your intimate relationships, your relationship with control. This is a bit of a more of a internal transit for you. You might feel a bit out of control of your emotions. This is another one just to release. Just like with Gemini rising, the air sign risings, it's really about like letting go of negative emotions, but making sure you're allowing yourself to feel. Allow yourself to feel your emotions and then release. You'll find that when you are able to let down your barriers, you're able to really see, good things happen in terms of shared finances as well. So this could also be something that comes up, is joint finances, such as like real estate, stock, cryptocurrency, things like that can come up as well. For you, Aquarius rising. Capricorn rising, this should be a relatively positive time for you. You're going to be thinking about the big picture. You might be doing some traveling. You might be meeting some people from different cultures. You might be just getting a new perspective on life. I know you Capricorns can sometimes get maybe set in your ways, so now it's time to learn about things, look at things from a different perspective, and be open to new experiences and have fun this season. Okay, Sagittarius rising. You guys are focused on your career, and this transit could mean that maybe you're recognized by people who are authority figures at your job. You could be focused on building your business. You're also more concerned with how you're appearing to others, how you presented to the public during this time, which is something that you shouldn't be overly concerned with it, but it is good to readdress how are you presenting yourself. What do you want people to learn from you? Scorpio rising. During Virgo season, your focus is on your social groups, your friendships, your community. What are those people that share similar visions to you? Who can where's your community? It's a good time to connect with the community. It's a good time for you to work towards common goals. It's a good time to make new friends, especially if the friends are people that share a lot of common interests with you. So if you've been wanting to go out there and join a new group, it's a great time to do that. And I'd also say it's a good time for you to post on social media. If you are a content creator in any way, you could get more recognition online during this season. And last but not least, Libra risings. This is another quiet internal transit for you. You're going to be focused on your emotions, reflecting and releasing before the sun's going to move into your first house. So this is really the end of a cycle for you. Take some time to relax, focus on your spirituality, focus on what have you learned since last year at this time. And if you have the need to, or if you feel in the mood to express yourself creatively through music, art, writing, it's a great time for you to do that. So I hope this gave you a good overview of what you should expect during Virgo season. I do offer readings on my website. I'll link that in the description of the video. And like I mentioned before, on my Patreon page, I have even more specific details for what each rising sign should expect during Virgo season, and I actually go a step further and I write each of my Patreon members' names down and what section they should be looking at, and I look at their specific charts. So if you are interested in something a little bit more detailed and more personal to you, check that out. I'll put that in the link below as well, and happy Virgo season, everybody.